In September of 2022, after COVID seemed to be settling down a bit, we did a Viking Rhine River Cruise. The cruise starts in Amsterdam and goes down the Rhine to Basil, Switzerland. This trip was actually only one way, but we did a back-to-back tour and came back up the Rhine. And because of that, some of the pictures will seem like they're overcast, and then you see the same thing with blue skies. But it rained most of the time we were there, but it was still a great trip. When you leave Amsterdam, the first stop on the trip going down the Rhine is Kinderdijk. This is Kinderdijk. When I first heard that we were visiting Windmills on this tour, I said, "Aw man, we did this in Spain. How different can it be?" Well, it turned out it's a lot different. For these, you get there by bus and you can see the windmills right from the highway. There are three museum mills, and you watch a film about the pumping station, and it tells the story of the mill complex on different screens, and you can find out how Kinderdijk got its name. This is a sculpture about the famous story behind the name Kinderdijk. It's from a legendary tale of a flood in 1421, and as the floodwaters subsided, survivors discovered a floating cradle with a cat balancing on its edges and walking back and forth. And there was a baby nestled inside, and the cat was keeping the basket from sinking. And from then on, this location was referred to as the Child's Dyke. You quickly learn that these windmills are not here to grind grain for food, but to keep the North Sea at bay and help to allow the country to exist. As you can imagine, the area, even with the windmills, at times gets serious and killing floods. Built around 1740, these 19 windmills stand here as part of a larger water management system to prevent flooding. The Dutch have been using the water to their advantage for over 1,000 years. As you walk up to them, you think you're just going to see a bunch of windmills and a few insides, but you realize as soon as you're there that these are not just museums of a time past. This is now. These are working windmills. People are living in them. There are livestock and gardens and a lot of water life. Even though it has, and I use the term loosely, all the comforts of home, this couldn't have been an easy job. I'm not sure about this flat screen TV. I don't think it was standard appliance at the time. Even though there are not a lot of people in these pictures, I had to take the shots quickly and in between heads because it's really tight living quarters. You get to meet some of the people there and notice the wooden shoes you read about. According to the wearers, they're very comfortable. If you're able to, you can actually take a little boat that sails along the mills and down the canals and waterways and underneath the little bridges. It's a nice little ride in a little boat and not too many people, but the water isn't so deep that you can't walk to the shore if you ever needed to. These canals are not very wide, and it's kind of a nice touch to do the little boat ride. This was one of the days that the rain held off, so some of the blue sky is actually showing through. In a strange way, even with the seriousness of the reasons for these windmills being here, there's a calming feeling when you are riding the boat and you're going down the water, and you see the waterfalls and the winds moving through the reeds. So it turned out to actually be a very nice little side tour. It's very noticeable that there are different styles of windmills. We Americans have a standard vision of what a windmill should look like. But like everything else, things get upgraded and change with advances in technologies. You see some of the very old, but you also see some more modern as advances in these technologies are made. As I said, these are worker pieces of machinery. They're not just there for us tourists. I don't know what this guy was working on, but I'm sure it was not easy. This was a very surprising, nice little side trip. Now on to Cologne.